Okay, so right now let's answer all of the programming prompts. First, for the short answer prompts, it says here that given the following block of code, so var key is equals to the string property, and there's also the var my object, which is an object, key and property. So the question is, explain the difference between my object property and my object property, which with the codes inside of it, and what each expression will do access. So basically, my answer to that is that my object property will return an error since the property is not defined. So as you can see here, it's not defined. So uh, it can actually access anything since there's no specific variable that's pointing to that, or a specific string. It will actually work if you will use a for-in loop, which is wherein we can actually define a property value to go on to the iterate through the my object. On the other way, I mean on the my object, which is my object property with the string inside, it will use the variable key as the string, as a string to get the property value here. Okay, since it's actually defined here, so it will actually work. It will actually select all of the values of property compared with the property which was not defined outside, or there's no specific variable pointing to that. And yeah, that's my answer for that. And then let's move on. Write a function lesser num, which takes two integers arguments and returns the lesser of the two. Lesser of the two. If they're equal, return either. Okay. So the first thing we need to do here is, as mentioned, I have a pseudocoding here. I mean, a specific guide here. Okay. So the problem here is that we need a problem. I mean, the problem is we need to return. We need to return the. We need to return the lesser number between the two number provided, or if they're also equal, return either. Okay, so that's it. And what's the expected input? Two numbers. And then for the expected output, it's also a number, the lesser number, or the if they're equal, either of the two. Okay, it's either of the two. It's either one or two. What methods can you use to solve the problem? Usually we can use if statement here just to solve this problem. If statement. If statement, and then yeah, if statement, that should work. So let's do that. So first, as mentioned, we need to pass in two numbers. That will be num1 and num2. Okay. Okay, for the pseudocoding here. One second, let me just check my audio. Okay, it's actually working. So right now, okay, pseudocoding. For pseudocoding, we need to first test, compare num1 is greater than num2, or num1 greater than num1 is less than num2, or num1 less than num2 less than num1, something like that. Or we also need to compare if they're equal. Okay, num2. That's it. Then finally, return the number. Return the larger, or I mean the lesser one, which is smaller one, or if they're equal, return either of them. Okay, so let's do that. The first thing we need to do here is that we need to compare if num1 is less than if num1 is less than num2, or if num1 is less than num2, or one second, let me just think about that. If num1 is less than num2, if let's compare num1 to num2, so if it's actually less than, if it's num1 that's less than num2, we need to return num1. Okay, that's the lesser one. Else if num2 is less than num1, which is lesser than 1, yeah, and then we should return num2. Else if num1 is equals to num2, we can actually return, actually it's already happening here, then the lesser one are equal. Okay, are if equal here, they are equal. One second. They're equal. If they're equal, return the either of them. Num1 or num2. Let's try this out. I want to take this to the, wait, am I still on the inside of the loop? Yeah. I want to take this outside the, I mean, on the JS bin, just to check that out. Second, let me just enter this. Move this here. Okay, so let's try that out. Lesser than 1 num2. Console.log. Second. Okay, so num1, num2. So if the first condition here, if num1 is less than num2, we should return num1. Let's say 1 and 2. So I'm expecting it will return, of course, invalid record expression missing. So I think, one second here. What's number none? What number is that? Okay, let me just put this on this part here. Let me just test that as well. I just need first to check this out first, this first two statement. Error. Invalid regular expression meaning. One second. I think it's something on the comment here. Here it is. Sorry. My bad. Error, unexpected catch, token catch. One second. So it doesn't have the extra. Okay, gotcha. So 1, as expected. And if num1, if num2 is less than, let's say, let's change them right now. It's actually 2 and 1. So I'm expecting it's always 1, right? Because that's the num2. But if they're equal, I'm expecting them to input or output either of them. Because right now it's actually undefined. So let's return that first. 1 second. 2, 2. That's actually working. Let's say 5, 5. Same thing, right? Or possibly it's actually, since they're equal, we can actually return just num1. We can put return num1 here, or num2, since they're the same. Whatever, it's actually working. So let me just submit that. Where's the, here it is. So that's the first function here for the first problem. Okay. So let's go over on the count by. Count by. Okay. The next one is count by. Let me just read the instruction. Good if you actually put it down over the top. Okay, there. Okay, write a function count by which takes into number arguments factor and count, takes into numbers factor and count, and populates an array with numbers starting from 0 and counting by factor. The parameter count represents how many times the factor will count by. Assume that the second argument will always be greater than or equal to 0. 1 second, let me just read this thoroughly. Your function results would look like this: 0, 4, 8, 12, 0, 5, 10, which takes in two numbers, factor and count. Okay, and populates an array with the start numbers starting from 0 and counting by factor. So the factor is 5, 0, 5, 10. And count will count by. So once again, I need to understand this real quick. 7 times 7, 14, 21, 28, 10 times 0. 7 times 7 times 7 times 5 times 2. Okay, so let's try that. Again, let me just pull this out right now to make sure I understand. So the problem here is that we need to return an array with the factor sorry. We need to return an array of the factor multiplied by the count. We need to return an array of the factor multiplied by the count. So 1 second. 4 times, let me just understand this. 4 times 4, no, really. 4 times 3, 4, 8, 12. Oh, okay. It will actually return an array of the factor multiplied 4 times 1. 5 times 2. 5 times 2. 0, 5, 10. 7 times 7. Okay. Multiplied by count several times, but will actually output Okay, you need to return an array of the factor multiplied by the count. And we'll show all of the multiplied numbers. Count will determine how many times did we multiply. Okay. What is expected input? Of course, the expected input are both numbers. Factor, that will be factor, and count. Then what's expected output? It's an array of the multiplied numbers for factors. What's the method I can use? I can use a for loop here, and then of course some operation, mathematical operator. So yeah, so let's do that. So it's for the count by. So we need to show the code. First, I need to iterate through the factor first. Okay. So let me just go over and pull this up on JSPin again, just to make sure I understand, or I have spaces there and be able to check that. So let me just go over on this one. Let me just copy the expected result or something like that. Okay. So the first one is I need a for loop. I iterate through. Yeah, sorry. Must be iterate through the factor. I mean, yeah, through the factor and count, or create. Sorry, there's no actually an array here, so we need to loop through the factor. So 1 second. That will be factor and count. Okay, loop through the factor. So the first value is 4. Starting, look through the factor starting with 0. And then how many times it will actually multiply. 5 times. 1 second. Look through the factor starting with 0. Then the end value will be wait 1 second, let me just move over in this one. Look through the factor starting with 0. So 4, let's say it started with 0, and then 1 second. I think I should just skip this for now. I'll be going back on that later on, as I need time for this one. I'll come back on this problem. So I'll probably skip that for now and then move over in the next one for now. Okay. Write function title case, which takes in a string and returns a title case string. Okay, so again, just to make sure it's actually passed. What's the problem all about? We need to take a string. We need to return. We need to return a string and a type. We need to return a string and returns a title case string. Okay, titles key, and return the string. We need to take in a string, and then return the string with uh, with the first letters to be uppercase. That's the what's the expected input? Of course, it's a string or text. What expected output? Still a string, so text. What methods can you use to solve the problem? We can actually use split if doing it manually. Split first, and then we can change the first element. Probably split and character. Right? Let's try that out. So, of course, we need a for loop, I guess. So let's just try that out. So for loop, if you need to iterate on all of the, not really. So let's just remove the for loop there. Okay. For the pseudocoding, let's try the first. We need to split the str. After splitting, of course, it will be in words, and then after that, we need to get the character uh, 0. That will be the first one for each element. And then we need to get the character at 0, and then we also need to uh, change them to, or make them uppercase, probably using that to uppercase method. Okay, make them uppercase. That's only the first text, and then I believe we need to join them. Join them using space, of course. Using spaces. Join or put them together. Okay, let's try. So again, I will just try to fold this up on JSBin. I'll remove this one here for now. So again, we need to split that. I'm not seeing it. Okay. So for that, we need as the okay. Based on the problem, where is the problem? Okay, here it is. So we need the SDR. We just pull this out here. Okay. So SDR. So that will be split the SDR in words. SDR that split. We will split that in words. Okay. So get the character at 0. Okay. So we need to SDR that character at 0. Let me says first letter. Let's put this on. Okay. And then, or if you want, we can actually chain them. Let's try to train them using the 2 uppercase. And then str, okay, str that split, str that 1 second. I'm trying to evaluate this. str dot str dot join with a space. Let's try to turn str. Okay, that will be the join, put them together. I'll try this out. So str, and let's try to put this up here. Console.log title case. Let's see if it will work. Sure. Error, str join is not a function. Guess we just put this into a variable. Variable str split str. Okay, that's what it is. So split str. Let's say get the first, or let's say simply first element, or first letter. So this will actually get the character at 0 and probably put them into uppercase. So let me just console.log split str right now, just to make sure that I'm getting the exact input. Console.log error, split character is not a function. Okay, let me just review the MDN. First, let me just try to console.log split str here. It's actually working. So right now, I need to first to get the first element. So, yeah, it will actually not work since we're getting here the first. We need to get the first letter. So 1 second. For uppercase. Split str. Piper. Get the index character 0. One second. So we split this one into console.log split. Oh, sorry. My bad. What did I... Okay. It should not work, so we need really to get the word. However, to get the first letter of each word. Okay, so I think I need to use a for loop here. Let me just try to go over on the split array here. if split SDR, I mean for loop, for var I is equals to 0, I is less than split that SDR, that length, I plus plus, length I plus plus. So let's just console.log. Just want to check what's inside the SDRI, just to make sure. 1 second here. Peter and Piper. We actually put 0. We have P. Okay, from here then we can actually access the first letter. So split SDR 0 dot to uppercase. Okay, let me just return split SDR P. Then 1 second, uppercase. We return the split SDR here. What will happen? Need to check first. Peter Piper. 1 second. Here I pull up the first element, I mean the first letter. Second, I'm trying to understand. Okay, first letter. Return split STR.join. It works. It must actually put them together, Peter Piper. Right now I need to pull up the, I really need to make some changes here. Let's try to create a variable here, variable result. It's bad. Second, I was trying to check. Uppercase. This will actually return the uppercase. We console.log this one here. We'll get both of them. Right now I just need to change something in them. Split str is equals to sure. Let's try. Peter Piper. Peter Piper. We just return this, of course. We'll just return the first one. Okay. Let's use pop and push instead. Let's try. Or upper letters. So if we console.log for letters, we have B and P. Okay. Then if we remove those, dot pop. I think it will be on shift. Shift and then on shift. Let's try. Not sure if this will work, but let's try. Oh my. Probably it's actually shift. It's not on shift. It's the first Piper. At the minimum time. Hmm. I guess I'll just move forward on the next one. Get the number. Get the name, birthday here. 1 second. So number 4. Let's just try number 4 first. I got stuck up in there, so I need to move forward and see if I can solve the other problems. So given an object with this structure, var person, first name Richard, last, write a function get number which returns the name and the birthday in one line. Richard, Lloyd, July. Okay, so let's try that. Okay, 1 second. Oh, so basically the problem here is that it's expected. Problem is we need to return the name and the birthday in one line. Expected out input, that will be the object. What is the expected output? A string with the birthday, with the name and the birthday. What methods can I use to solve the problems? We need to, I think it's actually, we need to, since it's actually an object, we will actually use for in. And yeah, mostly objects here. So let's kick it off. So 1 second. Pseudo coding. So the first one we need to do is that we need to iterate through the objects. through the object, and then the person, right? So we need the person object there. So for the object, then we need to select the first and the last name. That will be select the first and last name through the object key. I mean through the name object. Select the first and the last through the object, and then we also need to select the birthday, the month, day, year, under birthday key. Okay, and then put them together. Iterate through the object. Iterate through an object that will be for in property, in person, or in object, sorry. That will be object. Okay. And then we need to find a way to select the first and last name. Select the first and last name through the name object. So that will be object prop 0 will be the name that name that first this first output is prop that name. Let's just first see what's inside here. So make sure log and we call this console.log birthday person. Okay, so we'll do that. So we need to check if first object is not defined. Let's see the structure. Object is not defined. Why object is not defined? For every prop in object. So that log object. For every var prop in object, console.log object prop. Object is not defined. Sorry, that will be person there. My bad. Gonna add the property name, of course. object first. Define. So the property will be an object, right? Object. Name. Of course. Person that name. That's the first object. Select the day, year, and the birth key. That first name. That first. Then the second one is the last name. Okay. Loeb. That's the first and last name. Okay. And then also need to find a way to select the object. The oops. Let's move this upward. Okay. So we need the console.log as well. The person that birthday, that month. So I guess that's how it works then. We just need to output the, one second, person that birthday, that month, person that birthday, and define. Right. Person that name, person that birthdays, that birthday really? It's not. Of course, it's wrong spelling. Birthday. Okay, here it is. That month. So now that we find a way to select all of the elements, we just need to put them together. Okay. So right now we need to console or return a person that first name first plus space plus person that last last. Okay. And then we need to put a space here, something like this. Space plus we also need to get the person birthday month plus space plus person day and year. Okay, so we should just remove everything here, except for the, okay, so something like this, Richard Lebanon. Okay, so I guess I solved the problem here. So I just need to, I'll just remove everything here just to make it clean. So I'll put this on the top, on the code. 1 second. Where's that? Okay, for the title case, here it is. Oh, sorry. Hit that number date. Okay, for the last one, I mean for the number, it will be number render. Is that render? Okay, console.log and then render. Someone who recorded, let's work on the render part. Okay, someone who recorded these people's names and birth wasn't meticulous with their data entry and input information with inconsistent capitalizations. Write a function render neatly which takes in a person's object similar to the previous example and returns the person's birthday with proper casing. Right, this one might be, I'll need to first solve the other one. Let me just try to check the number 6 first. 1 second here. Write a which takes in Write a function get people which takes in a string, month, and an array returns a new array of people with their birthday information, even month. Okay, let's try to answer this. Uh, so let's just try to answer this first. I'll just copy this on JSBin again. Okay, I prefer it to work on that way. Then I think it will be better if I'll just go to my copy. I'll just clean this up. That will be much better and neat. Okay. Let's do number 6. Okay. Write a function get people. Call to your function get people of this stuff. Okay, so 1 second. So we need to, the problem here is that we need to, for this one, we need to, the problem is we need to select, return the, return the name and the birthday of people, return the name and the birthday of people who has the supplied month of birth. Expected input is an array of object. What is expected output? That will be the, of course, I believe it's an array as well. Array. What methods can I use? You can use for loop. So through the coding, pursue the coding, I need first to iterate through. Wait, 1 moment. We'll just pull up the function here. Get people born. Iterate through the array. Iterate through the array object, and then find a way to get the last, of course, the birth of month. If find a way to compare to select all the, so we need to compare if there is there's an item or a person that has the actual, has the birth month supplied. Probably we use an if statement here. Then find a way to compare if there's an item, and then if so, if there is, we need to get all the person's name will be first and last, then the birthday. Okay, push them in a new array. So probably we will create an empty array here. Okay, so first let's create an empty array of our result. And then let's iterate through the object. So that will be for every I is equals to 0. By the way, we need to pass in the staff here. That will be the main point here. 1 second. I is less than staff that length I plus plus. Okay, so after that, staff that length. After we get the length, so 1 second, I would like to try this out. Console.log. So we're actually focusing on the birthday first. Okay, so for every var j is equals to j less than staff I, that you need to select the birthday first. Birthday that length, sorry, yeah, j plus plus. So now if we select we try to select the variable or console.log staff I birthday j. Let's see what's inside. Error. Cannot read property length. Undefined. Which one? On line 38. For every var j, j plus plus. So that the j part birthday. Right. Sure. J. Sorry. Okay. Console.log. Cannot read property length of undefined. I'm not sure why it's actually not. Stuff I that birthday that length. Birthday. It's probably okay. Time is up.